Hi, I'm Jenna with Yoga 828 Studio, here to work you through a couple of poses good for the kidneys. So we're going to start on our blanket or on our mat with a blanket and a couple of blocks. So if you have really tight hips and it's uncomfortable for you to sit on the floor, maybe coming up on 2 blankets would be better for you. So I'm going to use one, and I'm going to extend my legs forward. And first we're going to come into head to big toe pose called Paschimottanasana. And today, let's bring a block in between the legs. So traditionally it's done with the legs really close together, but today we're just going to open them a little wider and bring a block or maybe 2 right there at the knee, or if you come into the pose and you need to move the blocks forward, you can. Okay? So send the hands down by your sides, lift your heart up towards the sky, pull the toes in a little closer and reach out through your heels. Good. Find a strong belly, find a strong core, and lift the sternum up a little bit higher. Okay. Nice. And then we're gonna bring the hands to the legs and just kind of lean back, right? Clasp the hands somewhere along the leg. And lean back, just check in. Find your breath. Let's take an inhale for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll do that again, but this time on the exhale, we'll start to lean forward any amount. So inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Find that length. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. So notice the chin is getting closer to the blocks. Soften your elbows, soften your arms. Let the belly do most of the work. Knees stay soft as well. Toes are moving up towards the head. Inhale, 1, lengthen, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe move the hands closer to the feet. Exhale, drop the belly down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you need to pick up your blocks and move them closer to the feet, you can do that. Whenever you're ready, as you work through your inhales and your exhales, let the forehead find a place to rest. Some of us can grab a hold of the ball of the foot or the big toe. Most of us are going to be comfortable right around the ankle or just the lower leg. Feel free to adjust your blocks to a different level. Let's follow through with 3 more breaths. Keep that equanimity between the number 6. Good. Lift yourself all the way up. And find a tall spine. Good. So we're going to come back into the pose, this time dropping the chin, not the forehead. So slide your blocks a little closer to you if you move them further away. Okay. And we're going to come into the pose a little stronger this time. So extend the arms up by the sides of the face and just let the pinkies come forward and the thumbs come back, and we'll start to drop down, reaching past the feet. That's the goal. Even if the hands aren't going past the feet, just imagine that they are. Whenever you're ready, dropping that forehead to the block. Good. See if you can get your hands to the ball of the foot, pressing the feet slightly into the hands, feeling that resistance. And just relax your whole spine. coming out, taking your time, okay? And we'll counter with this modified chair pose. Let's sweep the feet back behind us and shimmy the blanket to the center of the mat. Our blocks are going to come behind us, but close to the legs, okay? And we're going to take this modified chair. So sit back, sweep the arms up. Good. And then we're going to release the hands down to the blocks. Once you start to lift your pelvis, if you notice that it hurts your low back, just bring your hands up to your hips and move the hips away from the sternum. So most of us are going to have our hands here, and we're going to keep the shoulders lifting back. So even though it's a back bend, feel the strength in your core. Let everything between the right hip and the left hip, right rib and the left rib, really come into this active state. Same thing, the tailbone is moving forward and in between the thighs. Find your breath. Let the head move in a way that feels natural. So if dropping it back some feels good, just do it. If it stresses out your neck, pull it back up. Good. Anyone that wants a deeper camel pose can drop back into the heels. Wherever you are, take your final breaths. Good. And we'll counter the pose by dropping the hands into the blocks, tucking the toes, lifting yourself up and back for downward dog. Bring all of your awareness into your shoulders. Move them away from each other. And then we'll come forward and lower the knees back down. Nice. We'll end with cobra pose. So move your blanket a little bit closer to the front of your mat, and then we'll lower the pelvis onto the blanket. Slide the hands back by the ribs. Move the legs in. The inner thigh is just going to reach in towards each other. And we'll press into the hands. Look down at your mat. Strengthen your legs. Tops of the feet strong. And start to press yourself up. Keep your gaze down. Notice your low back is active, but let's support the low back with strong hands and feet. If it feels good to straighten the arms and come all the way up into this traditional Bhujangasana, you can. Cobra pose, navel pulling back in tight. And if the head feels like lifting up, it can open up the throat. Feel that creative energy move through the body. Invite it in. Nice. And then from here, let's just roll to our hands and knees. Good. Shimmy the hips over to the left. Maybe look over that left shoulder, squeezing that whole left side, opening up the right. And then sweep the hip over to the right. Look over that right shoulder, gaze over at the hip. Good. And then come back to center. Walk the hands in close to the knees, and let's take this narrow down cat-cow. Good. And sit back into the heels. Good. So every organ in the body is important. These are just a few poses that are great for the kidneys. So practice them with modifications like blocks and blankets. Practice them in their fullest potential if that works for your body. I hope this helps. I'm here in love and service. Thank you for being with me today. Namaste.